All right. All right, welcome everybody. We are excited to be here tonight in Lose It and Keep It Off. I am here with two of my friends, Carolee and Janet. And tonight we're going to focus here on Janet. Janet is a raw foods specialist. She's not only a chef, but she also teaches at Southwest Institute for Healing Arts for people to have their best lives. So I'm going to let Janet kind of explain who she is a little bit better than me. And I've had the privilege of meeting Janet because of a friend who introduced us. And I'm so grateful that we've been able to become friends. And we've actually traveled a little bit together.
We have.
But go ahead and share with us a little bit more about who you are and a little bit about raw foods, and then we'll just have a little bit of a discussion.
Sure. So hello, everybody. I'm Janet Lee, and I am a raw food chef. I like to say sometimes I'm a living food chef, and we'll touch on that. But I have been an educator all my life. I went to school to be a teacher, and then I kind of veered off into the health club industry, got into corporate America, but always at the base has always been health and wellness for me. I came out of the womb this way. I'm probably the healthiest person in my family. I always have been. I always wanted to be healthy and wanted to feel my best. And I've always been super active, which helped. But I just really love foods that really help me perform my best, whether that's just getting through a day and again, doing, big things too. So I'm also an instructor at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, or we call SWIHA, here in Tempe, Arizona. And I've had the privilege of teaching nutrition, holistic nutrition there, and food classes for the last 7 years. And I'm also an online advisor. We have a huge online presence. And so I get to mentor and coach students going through that. So raw food is really about increasing your enzymes. We're looking for energy. If your goal in life is to have energy, and most people don't, or you want to lose weight, because those are kind of the top two things that people would come see me or one of my students in coaching. I want to lose weight, Janet. I'm tired of holding on to this, when I was pregnant, or, from when I was in my 30s or 40s or whatever, I can't get rid of it. I just want more energy. I want to play with my kids or play with my grandkids. I want to get through the day and not feel like I come home and just sit on and crash on the couch. So if those are the two main objectives, and they are for me, I want to feel and be fit and be healthy. But energy's always been a huge part for me. I want to feel good. I don't just want to kind of skate through. I want to feel my best. And I'm an endurance athlete, which helps. So I can go long periods and I can go through the day. And so if I don't eat right and I don't fuel this amazing machine that I carry around all day, then I'm not going to be able to perform my best. So it affects my physical presence, my emotional, my psychological, my mental capacity. And so raw food is about, and I like to call it living food, because when you say raw food, people think they mean raw meat and things, and we're not talking about that. The definition of living food is actually, it's vegan, a little bit above vegan, in the sense that there is actually nothing cooked if you're having, true raw food or true living food. And the reason is that when you cook food above 118 degrees, the food gets denatured, it gets altered. Okay, so the chemical consistency of it gets altered. And so it's not full of enzymes as much. It destroys calcium, iron, things like that, right? And so if we want that energy and we want to feel good, then we want to take in foods that are going to increase the vitality. So I like to say that food is full of energy, everything's energy, and food's no different. And every cell in our body, every muscle, tendon, brain cell, we can list everything in our entire body is all made of enzymes. And everything we put in our body is made. So what I eat makes my organs, makes my skin, makes my hair, everything. So if you're taking in garbage, what are you going to have? And we can all get through the garbage stuff when we're younger, right? But we can't get away with that as we get older. 40 seems to be that place where things are just not the same. And I'm not saying you're old or anything like that. I plan to be over 100 easily. I'm saying that things just changed because that's the way life is. That's the way God made us. Like our eyes will change suddenly at 40. The equation of eating healthy food and how much nutrition plays in your whole scheme of your life, you can fudge a lot when you're younger. But when you get in that 35, 40 and above, it plays a huge amount, as much as 80 to 90% of the equation. So now what you're putting in your body has a much bigger bang for your buck, so to speak, right? So living food is nuts and seeds, every fruit and vegetable you can think of. It also includes fermented foods and sprouted, mung beans we sprout, and lentils and things like that. It's about keeping the enzymes and the vitality of food intact. So when we cook it, it changes it. Okay, so we use a dehydrator, 115 degrees or lower. So we're just getting the air out of it, which can make things crispy, not using an oven. I do eat cooked food, so I'm raw vegan, if you want to label me, which means I eat no animal products whatsoever and haven't for, December will be 13 years or 14 years, one of the two, that I've been vegan and raw. And so different times of the year, I'll have more raw percentage than maybe say in the winter. So in the winter, we all like soups and more cooked food, but in the summer, especially here in Arizona, it is so blasted hot, leaning more towards the fresh foods is really good. Finding a combo in there is really nice because then it's easy to eat out. It's a lot of nice variety. So yeah, that's what that's about.
That's amazing. So I love everything that you've said, and it makes me question, are you just eating salad 3 times a day?
No, I'm not. So a typical, right now, my typical is I love steel cut oatmeal. So I steam that in my steamer, but I rotate between steel cut oatmeal with a lot of fresh berries and nut milk. So I make all my own milk. And so living food is also, 100% no meat products, and it's no dairy, and actually no gluten and no soy. I mean, very little soy. And if there is any soy, it's usually fermented. So, steel cut oatmeal with some, fresh pecan milk or almond milk with a bunch of berries, cinnamon, that will last me till lunch. Usually at lunch, I'll have a variety of vegetables, whether that's hummus and veggies, maybe a small salad. Maybe I'll make a soup, but it's got tons of vegetables in it. Dinner, many times, might be a veggie burger with a huge salad or just a salad by itself. I know last night I had a really good sized salad that had all kinds of greens in it, about 3 different kinds. It had a little bit of seeds and just lots of vegetables, some vegan cheese on it, and just a light dressing. It was delicious.
Wow.
So avocados, that's a good source of fat. So really it's about eating a lot of variety. It's eating from the rainbow, which is what we teach at the school, is eat foods that are live, that are whole, really whole foods, right? Because even cooked foods can be whole. And we're talking about not something that has a huge label on it, right? An apple doesn't have a label. Thank you, right? So we want to get away from the processed food. And if you hear nothing tonight, if you want to make an impact to your health, I really believe the #1 thing is to eliminate processed foods. We're talking about, really limiting and being careful what you buy that's packaged. I'm not saying not buy packaged. I have, can of pinto beans up there. I've got garbanzos, if I want to throw them in something or put them on a salad. But I look at the label and that's all that's in it. It's not full of sugar. It's not full of oils that are rancid and that clog up your arteries. So keep the labeling really minimal. If you don't know what it is, look it up, right? And so variety, color, play a game. How many colors can I eat today? And this time of the year is a beautiful time to do that.
That's really cool. So how strict are you with non-GMO, organic?
Pretty strict. So okay. Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen, if you don't know about that, you can go to the Environmental Working Group, which is ewg.org. They will give you a list of the top foods that are dirty. So the Dirty Dozen have been the most sprayed, and the Clean 15 have been least sprayed. So okay. Those that are dirty, you absolutely want to buy organic. The taste is different. You're not putting chemicals and pesticides in your body. which is all foreign objects. And yes, we're gonna have that once in a while because that's life, but when we have it all the time, it's accumulation, it's too much for our body to handle. So definitely, I do almost entirely GMO, yeah, and gluten-free, because my body just likes it. You know, listen to your body on what it likes and have a variety. And if you're really in tune with your body will tell you. But we don't take the time, right? Like, I'm hungry, I'm just gonna eat. Instead of stopping and saying, wow, does my body want this or does my body want that? And if you really stop, it will tell you every time, because we never lie to ourselves.
Wow. Thank you, Janet.
That's great advice. I
Carol,
have a
you
question.
question.
Sure.
I do. I've got, well, first, when you said soup, but the veggies in the soup are cooked, or do you just not cook the veggies that much?
A little bit of
Normally.
both. So I like to steam broccoli and cauliflower just because I just feel like I digest them a little bit better. So just lightly steam them. I have a really cool steamer. And so I've made them ahead of time. And so, yeah, I'm just putting them in. I'm really just warming them up. And the soup I use is actually amazing. It's made by a local company here called Leaf Side, just like a leaf on a tree, Side, S-I-D-E. And they have 100% organic, gluten-free, packaged, dehydrated soups. And you just add water to them. So they're great for travel. If you don't put as much water in them, they're kind of thick. So you could use it almost like a, you know, like the Tex-Mex one is awesome. So you could almost keep it thicker, like inside of a taco kind of thing, you know what I mean? Or you can make it with more liquid and it's more of a soup. I have those a lot. They're fantastic. The spices in them, everything's organic in it. And so I'll just add water to that, throw in tons of vegetables, and that's a really hearty, delicious lunch. Now the whole package makes a little bit too much for me. I actually divide it into thirds. But look into it if you really want something that's easy for travel and just delicious. Did you have
I could
another
come and
question,
hang out
Carly?
with you, I know. And then, yes, for the seeds and nuts, if they're roasted, does that kind of like disqualify
Yeah, they're not
them?
living anymore. Great question. That's one of my favorite questions, because when we go to the store, if we can buy raw, organic, but for sure raw, nuts and seeds, then they're in a dormant state. Now there's some that, okay, so when you buy them, they're kind of in a dormant state, which is just part of nature. So almonds, pecans, and walnuts, sunflower, and pumpkin seeds, those 5, when you buy them raw in the store and you bring them home, if you eat them, they're not live. They're actually in a dormant state, because that's just part of nature, being out in nature and its protective coating. I like to say it has a jacket on it. But when you take those 5 I just mentioned, almond, pecan, walnut, pumpkin, and sunflower, those, once they're soaked, the jacket comes off, meaning the inhibitor on there, part of nature, called phytic acid, comes off. Now it's gone from a dormant state to a live state. And so number 1, you can digest it better. And number 2, it's actually live. So you're actually getting all the full nutrients out of it. Does that make sense?
Okay, I have never
Put
heard
them in
that.
water.
So you bring them home
How do you
and
soak
soak them?
So you soak them in water. And then when they're done, you either, you know, add them to your blender with water and make milk, strain it through a milk bag, or you put them in the dehydrator and get the liquid out of it so they're crispy and they can stay on the shelf for months. Or you just, you know, and so you're not going to do all those when you come home. You're going to think about, what do I need to make? And you kind of make them as you go. So there's lots of cool stuff online. You can learn how to make all that. I have a lot of videos on the school's website as well. Yeah, so the nuts and seeds are amazing, right? Because it's a great source of protein, a good source of fat. You don't want to eat tons of them because they have fat in them and they will put on weight. But they're great, they're portable. And now that I've taken that inhibitor off of it, now my body is really happy because it can really digest it. Because some people eat nuts and seeds and it really messes up their stomach. And I really believe a lot of that is because just the way they process things anymore today is, heavens, we don't know what's on it, but also it's just your body can't break it down. And so that's another point about enzymes is, as we age, our enzymes actually get, you know, lessen. We don't produce as much as we do when we're younger. Like when we're 12 to 25, we're producing tons of enzymes. After 25, it actually decreases slightly all the way till we're gone. But one way to increase that enzyme production is to eat live food. And so again, we need that for everything, to grow our hair, to have mental capacity, everything. Enzymes are crucial. And so if anything I can do to increase that as I get older, I'm all for it.
Wow, this has been fabulous.
Is there a website we can find that? Sorry, is there a website we can find that leaf side soup?
Yeah, it's
want
called,
this stuff.
I think it's just leafside.com.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a soup, and they're local in Tempe, Arizona. So if you get some other kind of thing on there, just keep looking, or maybe put it into, Google or Bing or something, and just put in organic leaf side soup or something like that. I'm telling you, they are a game changer. I just love them. They have tons of flavors, and the spices in them are just really well done. It's actually backed by Dr. Michael Greger, who is very well known and very well respected. He has a site called nutritionalfacts.org. If you want to know really the facts and the science behind anything nutrition wise, it's called nutritionfacts.org. And Dr. Greger's amazing wealth of knowledge. And I'm pretty sure he's backing this company because he's doing some advertising for them.
Wow, and I love that you say that about traveling, because traveling is always an inhibitor. And it's like, where do I go out to eat? I don't even know a fast food restaurant or even a sit down restaurant
Right.
that I feel comfortable with.
Absolutely. What's cool about this is you could just put some in a mug with hot water, which you can get in an airplane, in an airport or anywhere, and you can just drink the broth. It's really amazing. I just add the veggies because I want to bulk it up a little bit, add some beans and veggies, and I have that many times for lunch. It's really
All
good.
right. Well, Janet, I want everyone to remember that heating food over 118, which I didn't know that, kills the nutrients in it. And that's why a microwave is not your best choice for heating up. But Janet, I would love to have you back. We're going to be doing this group for a long time. You have you've blown my mind tonight. I'm going to rewatch this and take some more notes. But I so appreciate your energy.
You're welcome. Good to see you. Nice meeting you, Carolee. And take care of yourself. Stay healthy and safe.
All right. Thank you.
I'm gonna go living food right now.
All right. Awesome.